Live from the Short Track News office in Blue Island, Illinois, you're listening to the Short Track News Radio Network with your host, Steve Bechtel. This is the home of the Raceway Park history, Midwest Short Track memories, and Grundy County Speedway podcasts. Strap yourself in and get those belts tight, because for the next hour, we're talking racing.
Well, hey, race fans, welcome back once again. Steve Bechtel, Short Track News Radio, with a Grundy County Speedway episode tonight. And it's been a few years since I said this, but I'd like to bring in my co-host tonight, Dan Schmeissing. Dan, thanks for being here, buddy.
Thanks a lot, man. I had to dust off the old, microphone, and like you said, it's been a couple of years since we've done this. It's good to have you back, and you're doing your show again. And like I said, we're out of this stupid pandemic, or just about getting out of it, and racing's looking good and alive out here in the Midwest.
Yeah, we for people just tuning in either for the first time or you haven't been here for a couple of years, we started this show back in 2011. Did it until about 2019 and kind of took a little break and, thought about coming back. And then COVID set in and kind of set us back for a couple of years, and wanted to come back and do something again this year. Had a lot of good people behind me, some great advertisers behind me trying to do this again. And we set this up to where on any given night, or I should say any given week, we'll do one of episodes. We'll either do a Grundy County Speedway episode, and we'll be doing a lot of those during the summer. You'll hear tonight a Raceway Park history episode. That's what we started off the season with episode number 1, and then just a Midwest kind of short track memory show where we look back at some of the tracks in Illinois and try to get some former drivers on and stuff like that. But no, it's great to be back. No Steely Dan. That was a little different intro. I got a lot of replies when we did the show last week, and everybody was joking that the old tired Steely Dan music playing in the background intro was gone, Dan.
Yeah, like I said, things have evolved in the last 2-3 years, so I'm surprised probably down the road I might have to do a video podcast or, something on Zoom or something like that. So, but yeah, like I said, intro looks good. I'm glad you started this up. I know there's a lot of diehards out there, that just look back on the Raceway Park era. And then, unfortunately, we got Illiana Speedway that closed down, so I'm sure we can go back and look at the history of that throughout your show, too, as well.
Yeah, and lots of histories like that we're going to be talking about. Obviously, we're kind of starting this up right as the, on the cusp of winter just about being over. So we'll probably do a lot of, the short track memories type stuff maybe in the season. Definitely want to give Grundy County Speedway a lot of coverage during, the race season, which will be coming up here. And in about 6 weeks, we'll be out at the Grundy County Speedway turning some laps. Real quick before we want to get started, I want to let fans know we are available on Spotify. You can you can listen to us on Spotify. Just look us up under Short Track News Radio, or you can go to our website shorttracknews.com and find the link to that, and also find the link to YouTube. These will go live on YouTube the day after we do the live episodes. And if you get a chance, check out the page, give our sponsors a check, and maybe, if there's something that they can do for you, let them know you heard about them here on Short Track News Radio. So Dan, season's coming up, and, I don't want to just kind of blow by last year. I mean, challenging season the last couple of years with, crowds and getting people into the track and getting people to show up. And then, last year, one of our biggest deals were tires and trying to get cars out on a consistent basis, enough tires for everybody to go around. Lots of good racing. But man, you guys put on, one heck of a point battle there in the pure stock division going into the last night. We had 4 drivers that were basically, I think it was 11 points separating your top 4 drivers in points going into that last night. And it's 10 points to win a heat race. So that tells you how close it was over the course of a 20 race season. What do you remember kind of about, going into that last night and just how tight it was for the points?
Well, I think it was like 19 points back. I had to look the other day, or I came across that old picture, and I was sitting in fourth, 19 points back. So, I really had nothing to lose, just put it all out on the line, and, wherever the chips were going to fall, that's where they were going to fall. Heartbreak, I think, for Zach Legner. He went into the night, I believe he was 2 points up from Cameron Pressler. And then Danielle Dobchek was right there in third, and I was, 10 or 12 points behind her or whatever. But, I really didn't think I had a chance, But the night went well, and I think I ended up finishing second overall in points for the season, and I was 9 points back. So looking back at the season, a couple nights could have done a couple things different, but it just didn't happen. So, but overall, good year. I think I picked up, 6 feature wins. I think I had 6 heat race wins or something like that. So out of those 6 wins, I finally won the Bettenhausen, which was cool. So I got one of those big checks, and like I said, I call them the Happy Gilmore check. So that's just something different, and it's something cool. Trophies are always cool to get. You pass them out to kids and stuff, but when you get like those big checks and plaques, or like a bowl or something, just a cup or something, it's always, I think for my Bandit run that I did up in Rockford in 2017, I got a cool third place trophy, so when you get those things that are a little bit different, it's kind of cool. So, but it was a tight race, and Cameron Pressler ended up winning the championship, so hats off to him. Young up and coming kid, has got a lot of support behind him. He does have Sontag blood in him, so like I said, he'll be a threat out there for the years to come.
Yeah, it was just a great battle, I thought, all season long. There's just so many, there's probably a dozen people that could win a feature out there on a given night. And you just look at kind of the way things went. You got Danielle Dobchik that, led the points probably the last, 10 weeks of the season. And then right at the end, she had some motor issues. And then Zach Legner, you got a player up top who's leading points going into the last night. And then you had Cameron that when everything shook out, he was right there all season long, just kind of knocking on the door along with you in the top 5 most of the season. And then for him to get that championship just kind of, shows just how tight the racing is there. I expect kind of the same thing going into, 2022 for the pure stock division. Hopefully some cool races for you guys and stuff like that. I wanted to say, when you were talking earlier, you mentioned the Bettenhausen. Not only did you get the Happy Gilmore check, but pay-per-view. First time the Bettenhausen Memorial was on pay-per-view, or I guess you maybe wouldn't call it pay-per-view. You just had to subscribe to MidwestTour.tv. But it's pretty cool to you can go back and watch that race, and you get the interview on the Midwest Tour TV network. That had to be pretty cool as well.
Yeah, that was something different. Pulling in the victory lane, there's a camera in your face, and they're right there, and you're trying to undo the buckles, and you're like, oh, you're kind of freaking out trying to get them done, and super quick, but you don't want to hang yourself up on your neck device and everything like that, and the guys are just sitting in front of your window just with that bright light. It's like, Jesus. So, but yeah, afterward was pretty cool. I got to share victory lane with one of my sponsors, Kurt Endy, who runs Pace of Fabrication, who houses, Rita Field's car. So it was cool that he was out there and got to be in victory lane with me with that picture and everything. But the television or the pay-per-view event was pretty cool for Grundy. I hope they, work a partnership with them in the future, and be pretty cool to, do that again with the Bettenhausen and some other bigger races out there.
Yeah, and that was cool for you because you had family, watching that couldn't actually make it to the track. So, that's one of the cool things too. Not only did we have people, across the country, watching the race that have moved out of the area, but, you had family that got to, watch your victory, from the comforts of their own home. So that had to be pretty cool.
Yeah, Mom's under the weather. She's getting old. She doesn't go to the track much anymore, and she actually hasn't been there in the last couple of years. So my wife and daughter and my mom were actually all watching it. So it was cool. Like I said, it just shows you it's not uncommon for that nowadays, though. You look at a lot of these big races now. Everything's pay-per-view, and, you're probably not going to see it on MAV TV just yet, but, just about any larger late model event, is a pay-per-view event, so you can catch local racing now you just got to search a little bit, but, it's becoming more common, for those that can't make it, you spend, I don't know, $20 to watch a pay-per-view event to a race. You can't make it, maybe you're a little iffy on the distance or the weather or whatever. So it's cool that, again, we talked about technology earlier, just how things are evolving with short track racing. You got all the partnerships out there. So it's pretty cool to see that now.
Dan, I want to talk about the 2022 schedule. Obviously, season ends, got our banquet together, and you get through the holidays, and then everybody kind of starts working on the cars, getting ready. It is been business as usual, man. We have such a great team in place at the Grundy County Speedway the last couple of years with, myself, Joe DeBello, Kerry Carter, Julie and Sarah from the office, and our fair board president, George. It's just a pleasure to work with them and to be able to kind of try new things and push for new things. And I want to say, this is probably one of the most diverse schedules that, we've had since I've been there for the last, 10, 12 years, and lots of new things on it. I know you had a chance to take a look at it. We'll go over it. What's the one main thing? If you had to pick one thing, what kind of sticks out to you the most on the 2022 schedule?
Probably the challenge series with the Enduro series. It was cool to see that. Not that your guys are trying to steal the thunder from like Rockford Speedway or other series that are doing that now, but it's just awesome to see, Enduro racing coming back to Grundy County Speedway. I know they've done it in the past. Wasn't promoted very well. So hopefully it goes pretty well this year. Like I said, it's cool that you guys are giving it a shot. We're going to get, again, I know it's been in the works it's been talked about, and it was cool that you guys finally pulled the trigger on it. And, it's just cool to see that, back in the day, they used to have the big V8, Enduros out there, and, you just can't. I've seen a couple old timers comment, we should have a V8 Enduro. Well, some of these people are I think, have lost their mind. To find a V8 big car nowadays is getting very, very hard, So basically 4-cylinder Enduros as well as 6-cylinder Enduros is the route for Enduro racing nowadays. So, but it's pretty cool that you guys could do that. Something that's kind of missing, hopefully in the next few years, what I miss out at Grundy is something like a Crash Fest event. I know Ileana Speedway used to do it. Rockford Speedway does it. So hopefully you guys got something in the works in the future for something like that.
Yeah, we're looking at all options for a lot of things. There's still some, potential dates that we might do some stuff here in 2022. And yeah, you mentioned the Enduros. We've talked about it for a while. They've been successful, kind of in our area up in Rockford, and there's series up in Wisconsin, and then there's one kind of based out of, the Michigan, Indiana area. And we saw all these drivers going to these races, and a lot of them were Grundy County Speedway regulars, our pure stock guys, we had street stock drivers, we had, Mid-American, we just had a bunch of them. And, it got brought up, let's bring back the fair Enduro, so that was kind of on our radar that we wanted to do during the fair. And, you mentioned the last time we did an Enduro was probably about, probably 8-9 years ago. And you had mentioned that it wasn't promoted that well. And I kind of got to disagree. I think it was promoted pretty good, but the problem is you got to stick with them. You can't just have one and then that's it. You got to say, we're going to do one. And if we only get 30 cars, we're going to do another one. We're going to, it's like the Goblin, Rome wasn't built in a day. The Bahama brackets wasn't built in a day. I mean, now they get over 200 cars for the Bahama brackets, and I think they had 60 that first year. So you just got to kind of stay with it. So kind of going with that game plan when, it was talked about, hey, we're going to do a, fair time enduro 4th of July. I kind of just had the idea. I said, let's, kind of, do, what other places are doing. Let's run 3 of them. If you're sitting at home and you're on the fence and you want to run an enduro, you're like, well, do I want to put a car together just for one enduro at Grundy, and maybe I can't make the other tracks or I can't travel. Our thinking was, well, if we do 3 of them, now you're a little bit more, it's more enticing to put a car together. So yeah, really excited to have 3 of them. We kind of spaced them out, one, pretty early in the season, one all the way at the end, the week after the Bettenhausen, and then one during the fair for the 4th of July, where the fair time 250 used to be for years with the Midwest Enduro Series. So yeah, we're hoping to, the buzz has been incredible. I mean, the amount of people that have reached out to us, through email, through Facebook, people I don't even know. And I know a lot of people that go to Grundy. People have been calling the office, where are the rules going to come out? When are the rules going to come out? And we got those and now getting a lot of questions from people. So yeah, I think the Enduros really have an opportunity to be a pretty big thing here at the Grundy County Speedway in 2022, Dan.
Yeah, and I mean, I like what you guys did with the rules. You guys basically took all the surrounding rules and just kind of put them together and made it the great equalizer. You could pretty much run an enduro at any of the surrounding, tracks in the Midwest and run Grundy. And, there's some safety things that are added for Grundy. That's, we want to make it affordable, but we also want to make sure that the, competitors are safe as well. So, everything looks good. It's simple. It's pretty much, smash out the windows, protect the driver, and go racing and go have a good time. So it'll be cool. It'll be interesting, especially with the 3-race deal. And, I'm looking forward to it. I think I got 2 out of the 3 penciled in possibly. We'll see. I got a pretty hefty workload this year at work, so I will be cutting down on my weekly racing and kind of picking and choosing things. So, but with all that being said, I am also excited. I don't remember if they've ever been at the Grundy County Speedway, is now the CRA series. We've had some CRA cars float over for like the Cra Midwest Tour before, but to have its own sanctioned race at Grundy, that's going to be awesome. I think the last CRA race I went to was probably the when they used to do the crossover at Ileana. They would have the Cra Midwest Tour, and then the CRA series do the kind of like the border wars for Indiana and Illinois. So I'm looking forward to that. That's going to be awesome.
Yeah, CRA was there one time, and that was the Super Series. And so this is going to be the Jags All-Star Tour, which is kind of like if you watch the races down south, like pro late models, kind of a deal like that. But, pretty good following. A lot of our guys will fall under, the rules package to be able to put that together. And that, that came together really, really late, with, a big help from Josh Nelms and McMahon Transport coming on board and helping us with some funding to do this. But yeah, it was one of those deals where, I've reached out to RJ Scott from the CRA series for, 2-3 years now. And it wasn't the right time, that we couldn't, come up with a date that was right, or the money wasn't right. And when this opportunity came aboard, it was like, what, let me, me and Joe DeBello, we work so well together as a team. And when it, came across my desk, I was like, what, let me talk to Joe. And we always talk it out, the pros and cons. And like I said, we got some sponsorship to come on board. And, I was optimistic, and basically within a day, it was like, yeah, let's do this. We need to, we've made a lot of changes at Grundy. We spruced the place up a bit. We got, brand new lighting, which is awesome. We paved the track and, saw track records fall, for the first time in 40 years. We're still every year trying to make improvements. But one thing that I felt was lacking is it seemed like the schedule was just kind of the same old same every year. We just kind of moved the dates around a little bit. So when we had the opportunity to get the CRA series here, it was, kind of a no-brainer, especially with some funding from McMahon Transport. And John's, been helping us out at the track now for many years. He's a longtime Mid-American Sportsman competitor at the Grundy County Speedway. So great to, like I said, great to have John have some faith in us. And again, Josh Nelms Josh always has his hands in something. He's always helping somebody. He does a lot of stuff behind the scenes that, a lot of people don't know about, helping with this and helping with that. Sometimes it's just an idea. Sometimes it's, just going to him, bouncing off some knowledge and stuff like that. So it was great to see, CRA kind of come back on the schedule. Dan, we got lots to talk about. Real quick, let me go to our first commercial break, and when we come back, we'll be talking Champ Cards, we'll be talking the Midwest Tour, and all kinds of stuff here when we come back to Short Track News Radio.
Save the date and make plans now. March 20th at the Will County Fairgrounds in Peatone, Illinois. It's the 6th annual Chicagoland Racing Memorabilia and Collectibles Show, plus Racers Reunion. This show covers everything including NASCAR, IndyCar, USAC, ASA, ARTGO, and more. Our vendors have die-cast cars, models, programs, pictures, posters, old videos, and anything else you can think of. Come mingle and meet former drivers from the Chicagoland racing scene. Shows run from 10 a.m. till 3 p.m. Admission's only $7, and kids under 11 are free. Food and full bar available. For more information, check out our website at ChicagolandRacersReunion.com.
If you're coming to the Grundy County Speedway this summer, you better come hungry, because Grill Master's Trackside Grill has you covered. We offer ribeye, steak sandwiches, Italian beef, butterfly pork chops, chicken tenders, burgers, hot dogs, and more. Got a sweet tooth? Head over to the sweet shop for southern fried pies, funnel cakes, fried Oreos, root beer floats, and our fan favorite, lemon shake-up. Want something different? Shop at our Hot Lap Mexican Grill. And don't forget to check us out on Facebook under Grill Masters Trackside Grill for our weekly specials.
At the Src Pro Bowler Shop, we carry all major brands of bowling balls, bags, and accessories, including shoes, cleaners, and tapes. We offer professional ball fitting and custom drilling. We can plug the ball, refinish, and re-drill. We have the equipment to rejuvenate your ball and bring it back to life. SRC is the one-place stop to shop for any of your bowling needs. Give us a call at 708-407-8584 or find us on Facebook under SRC Pro Bowler Shop.
You're listening to Short Track News Radio. If you're enjoying the show, please consider advertising your business with us. Or fans can make a donation right through the website to help keep things running. For more information, check out shorttracknews.com. And now, back to the show.
Well, again, fans, you can check out the website at shorttracknews.com, see all of our great sponsors. If you'd like to help out, make a donation here, we got a PayPal link up to kind of help us keep things just going. We want to have shows every week, get local drivers on the show, do all kinds of different topics and, talk to fans and get their input on what they want to hear. So, again, if you want to, help us out, you got a business that's interested in advertising with us, definitely check us out on the website. Also, the links to where you can listen to the show if you miss it live are on the website as well. And real quick, Dan, before we get into the schedule, I do want to mention the 6th annual Racing Memorabilia and Collectibles Show coming up in Peatone, Illinois, March 20th, along with the Racers Reunion. That's a show that, Tommy Turtle, Stan Kalwazinski had for about 23, 24 years. They took a break and didn't do it for about 3 years. And then me and a friend of mine, Jim McCarthy, took it over. This is our 6th year. So, 5 years ago. And the last couple of years have been a little rough. We always had a March date. That's when Stan and Tommy did it. That's when we did it. But because of COVID, it pushed us both years to August. And it just, for whatever reason, whether it was the date, whether, a lot of people were still scared to come out, or, on the flip side, people wanted to come out. They didn't want to wear a mask. So we're happy to announce that we're going to be back in, our normal date, March 20th, Peatone, Illinois, Will County Fairgrounds from 10 o'clock to 3 p.m. You can check us out at Chicagoland Racers Reunion on either Facebook or the website. And we hope to just get a bunch of people out there. A lot of the old drivers show up and mingle and talk and tell stories. We got over 70, close to 75 vendor tables going to be there. People selling old pictures, programs, NASCAR stuff, IndyCar stuff, diecast stuff like that. I know you've been to a few of them, Dan, and helped me out. That show has everything, man, and it's a good time.
It does. I mean, it's man, I don't want to downgrade and call it like a flea market, but man, I mean, anything that you're looking. I mean, it's just not local stuff either. People have diecast there of NASCAR stuff. One of my favorite booths, believe it or not, I like going to that guy's booth, is the guy. I mean, they're replicated posters, and it's of like short tracks in the Midwest and everywhere. In fact, I think he's had like Indy 500 old posters, where he gets these, digital images and stuff like that, but he recreates them to like the originals, and it's pretty cool. I've seen ones that he's had for like Lake Geneva. Like I said, I've seen stuff that he's had for like Indianapolis 500 and stuff like that. So I know that guy, and I've seen him at other shows too as well. The show that used to be up north, I think he used to have a booth up there. The Racers thing that used to happen in Schaumburg, or got moved to Schaumburg, but I believe it's moved in Iowa now. That's one of the coolest things. I mean, I sit there and I just flip through all those old memorabilia of the posters and stuff like that. But pictures, Chris Goodacre will be out there for the local fans that's had pictures from Indiana Speedway, Grundy over the last, many years. He'll be on display, putting his stuff out. In fact, Chris has also veered off and started making bottle openers, flip-flops, and everything else that you would like too. So give Chris a shout out. If you need some kind of something made with your favorite driver on there, I bet you he can get it done for you. So, but like I said, there's everything there. It's just not, pertains to, most of it is for local racing, but like I said, you can find anything racing related there.
Yeah, the guy with the racing replica posters, his stuff is phenomenal. The old, like I say, Grundy had a race back in the 70s. They would get those signs made that they would, hang on telephone poles or hang at other tracks or hang wherever. And yeah, he replicates them. You can get those old, racing this Sunday, blah, blah, blah stuff. And he's actually been at Grundy a few times. You probably didn't see him because he's in the grandstand area, but when we run on Saturdays, a lot of times he'll be in the midway selling that stuff. But yeah, Stan Kalwazinski will be there. A bunch of tables of old photos from the 60s, 70s, and 80s. And like I said, diecast stuff. Roger Smith is going to be there again this year with a ton of, they found all kinds of old Raceway Park stuff a few years ago that they had in the basements and the family owned, and they were getting rid of everything, pictures and newspapers and plaques and trophies and stuff like that. It's IndyCar, there's books, posters, magazines, racing newspapers. It is. It's kind of like a swap meet, like a flea market type thing. But it's, we did that. We added the racer reunion to where a lot of the old drivers show up, and we throw name tags on them, and we try to interview them if they want to be interviewed. And they're always, lots of bench racing going on. So again, Chicagoland Racers Reunion.com. You can check out our website. We're also on Facebook, and that's February 20th. Peatone, Illinois, Will County Fairgrounds, 10 o'clock until 3 p.m. So, yeah, getting back to the schedule, we mentioned CRA. Midwest Tour is going to be back as well. Greg McCarnes in his series. They put on such a great slate of racing, throughout Wisconsin and, Illinois and some other tracks and stuff like that. They raced the mile. They raced Madison. I know he's going to start the season at his home track, Madison Speedway. Matt Kenseth's going to be there, a phenomenal purse, for the winner. So that's kind of a cool deal. But yeah, always a cool deal when Greg McCarnes and the Midwest Tour comes down for the Wayne Carter Classic. So they're going to be in July. And again, everything we're talking about schedule-wise, you can find on our website at Grundy County Speedway Online.com is our website. A little long, but you can find our website, or just Google Grundy County Speedway and it'll pop up as well. But go on the schedule page and you can see exact dates for all of these events. I believe we got CRA and Midwest Tour in the same month, a little time in between those events. But yeah, July is going to be a cool and busy month out at the Grundy County Speedway. Another thing new this year that we added, that I know they used to do this on the Saturdays when they would run the midget programs with the legend cars and stuff like that, I believe. But the Midwest Champ Carts are going to be there, and people are just like, minds blown that we're going to have go-karts racing at the Grundy County Speedway. And, they're somewhat similar to the Midwest Super Cups, but yeah, Midwest Carts are going to actually start the season with us on opening day, and then they're going to be back for the night of features in September. And a lot of people have been sharing videos for that. Their series is on YouTube, and a lot of races in the Indiana, Michigan area. They're excited to be coming here. And Dan, I got to tell you, I'm kind of excited to see some Midwest Champ Carts going to be racing at the Grundy County Speedway.
Yeah, again, you guys are doing a great job with the schedule. You're reaching out to other series. Other series are reaching out to you guys. There's a buzz in the air. Again, all the hard work that you guys are putting into the track. We get decent crowd counts. So, yeah, I mean, why not? So it's cool to see different series come in. I think this is the first year that I've seen multiple, different series come in to race Grundy County Speedway. They're coming in to fill, some of the weekly shows. Some of them are on the special shows. Some of them are night of features. So, again, hats off to you guys for bringing in a different series, a little bit different taste of what's going on out there. It promotes a different series, and just to let people in the crowd know, hey, there's more than just street stocks, four cylinders, sportsmen, and late models out there in the world. There's other things going on.
Well, and that's where a lot of these guys come from too. A lot of these mid-am drivers or street stock drivers, they got their start running in the stock division, or they got their start running in a Super Cup or a Legend car or something like that. So it's just cool to kind of see some of the younger kids or even older people, in the go-karts, the Super Cups, even pure stocks that, all of a sudden, they want to move up another division, and that's what you kind of need. You got to keep the chain moving. Eventually, you lose some late model guys or some sportsman guys, and you need, people from the lower divisions to move up. So, yeah, looking forward to seeing the Midwest Champ Carts on the schedule. And then, we talked about Super Cups. Eric Hedden's Midwest Super Cup, his first year leading the ship last year, and I thought it was pretty successful. Man, he's a promoting guy, man. He, is at, carnivals and fairs and parades and car shows and everything. He's promoting the series. I know he was at, Piatone at a swap meet last week with some cars, and he did a cool video to where there was a little girl there with her parents, and I guess she wanted to race, and they're walking through, and they go to the Super Cup, and, she's like, well, this is the kind of car I want to race, and they videotaped her and basically were like, well, here, this is your car. We bought it for you. And cool video. I talked to Eric a little bit earlier tonight, and he says, he has another guy interested that just reached out to him today. And if this guy, pulls the plug and jumps does the deal, I guess you should say, that he'll have 6 rookies scheduled for this year, along with the the big turnout that they kind of had last year. Kind of was a slow build, and they just kept getting new cars. And we plan on getting Eric on the show here, hopefully in the next few weeks, to talk about Midwest Super Cups. But they'll be back again too, I believe, 11 weeks on the calendar, probably like an every other week type thing with us. And it's cool to friends with a guy, Johnny Sinercha. It's kind of cool to see his young son out there racing, and Johnny quit racing, so it's cool to see him still at the racetrack helping. I know his kids run go-karts, and like I said, to see him doing the Super Cups, and you see Joe Fadke, another former racer in the area, and his daughter's racing out there, and the Hocking family. Katie's been running forever in the Pierce division, to see Landon, her nephew, out there racing. So it's just cool to see so many drivers. It looks like we're going to have more this year, and 11 nights of racing, Dan. It's kind of a nice deal to have out there with the Midwest Super Cup Series.
Yeah, like I said, and I know we touched on the 4-cylinder championship last year, but man, what a great battle between Hocking and Src. It was just and again, I'm a fan of any type of racing, and sometimes some divisions get left out. People don't watch them. They go take their bathroom break, or they go get the refill on the adult beverage or whatever. But I try to make it a habit of watching, and supporting the Super Cups out there. And like I said, they put on a great battle. I would expect the same this year. That those are the two drivers. They're the class of that field there, and it's exciting to watch those guys because that's probably the future of Grundy County Speedway and stock car racing, just because they come from a racing family, and it's kind of molded into them already. But that again was a great battle, and I would expect the same out of that division this year.
Yeah, it's cool. Like I said, you see the young kids, and then sometimes guy wins a race and he pops out, and he's 40, 50 years old. So it's kind of cool. You got everybody racing, all the different ages and stuff, and like I said, he has a pretty, big schedule again this year. They got a booth on the Midway where they sell their merchandise, and he has kind of like a show car with like a monitor in it that kind of shows the racing and stuff like that. And I know Eric has some big, stuff that he wants to talk about. So again, looking forward to getting him on the show here before we start the season here in 2022. Another big thing on the schedule is the Midwest Mayhem Midgets. And a lot of people were asking, what that is. And basically what it is the last, 5-6 years, midgets have kind of been, a hodgepodge of different sanctioning bodies, different, names out there, different, it's just a lot of things that didn't really kind of stick, didn't work. We weren't getting the car counts. Laverne Spencer with the Illini, midgets, was doing his deal and, would get, a core group of cars, and they would go to different, different tracks. And sometimes they'd go to Grundy, and Grundy just kind of wanted to restore the history that they had with the midgets and wanted to get a bigger feel of them and people talking about them and people being excited about stuff. And we had a group come to us and was interested in kind of doing some promoting, getting some money added to the purse, trying to, bring back some other drivers. And that guy, Aaron Willis Jr., is kind of the driving force behind that. And between him and Laverne and his group, they're kind of pairing up. It's still basically the Illini Midgets. They're going to run a full series at all their different tracks, I believe Rockford, South Bend, etc. But there's going to be 6 races with this series at Grundy County Speedway, and they're basically going to just rebrand them as the Midwest Mayhem Midgets. They got a lot of commitments from some new drivers, a lot of from what I'm hearing from a lot of former drivers that just maybe don't want to travel, don't want to go to Indiana to race or go up to Rockford. They want to just stay kind of local at Grundy, and we worked out a deal where they're going to get 6 race nights. And like I said, we're hoping to kind of bring back some of the magic. I know, there's a lot of people. It seems like it's kind of down the middle. You got your stock car fans and you got your midget fans. And I know there's a lot of midget fans that would love to come back and, they might support the stock car program, but man, they would really love to see the good midget program, 16, 20 midgets again. And we're optimistic to see where that goes. There's a long history of midgets at Grundy County Speedway, and hopefully, Dan, that can turn into something pretty exciting here in 2022.
Yeah, I mean, I miss the days of going to when we used to go to the Night of Features before I started racing and growing up at Grundy. That, man, they would stage the midgets in the infield, and you would have 3-4 heats, semi-features, and you would have 20+ midgets out there racing. And it's more exciting seeing 20 midgets out there racing than it is with a low car count. I will say that. But yeah, I know you touched on the open. It's basically open wheel drivers versus stock car drivers, and that's just like saying the whole thing with asphalt drivers and dirt racers. At the end of the day, racing's racing. I don't care if they're racing big wheels out there on the track. I want to watch it. So it's good. Like I said, again, you guys are that place is trying to rebrand the Midgets. People came to you and said, hey, listen, we need, and they probably need a track to run at. And, and I'm sure they're very appreciative that they can be at Grundy County Speedway 6 times next year. So they have a place to race, sometimes it's tough when you have a series that tries to run and it may fail or might be, not in its best interest to come back. And it's sad because the drivers that put the effort in, the handful of people that might have tried it out, they're very grateful that Grundy gave them a place to race at. And again, you guys are revisiting something. Hopefully it gets, the blood rolling again in that division. And like I said, we'll have to wait and see, and hopefully 2022 will be a great year for them, and we can welcome back in 2023.
Yeah, like you said, it's tough when maybe you don't get the car counts that you want, but you feel bad for the guys that are still there every week supporting the place. They want to race. They put their time and money and effort, in the garage. They come and show up to the races, and, it ain't their fault that a lot of the other guys don't show up and race. So again, a joint effort. I applaud Laverne Spencer for being open and kind of, taking a chance on doing this. And again, to have a guy that's really kind of maybe looking at it from a different side of things with Aaron Wells Jr. kind of maybe has different contacts or different ideas. And if you can kind of merge, the two, if you got a series with 8 cars and you got another guy that thinks he can bring 8 more, well, now all of a sudden you doubled it. Now you can have a couple of heats. You can have a feature. We all know that, bigger is better when it comes to car count at a local racetrack. So definitely looking forward to that. Any midget fans out there that are listening, come out and support us. You can't sit there and say, man, I missed the midgets and I wish they'd come back, and then, don't come to the track. Come to the track and, let us see the uptick in the spectator count. And, same with the drivers that have midgets that have been sitting for 2-3 years, and for whatever reason, they don't want to travel, or they don't like this rule, they don't like that rule. It's simple. Either race or don't race. And if you want to race, let's get those cars ready and come on out. I know they had a rules meeting. I haven't heard how that went, but I know they had a meeting over this past weekend. So looking forward to hearing an update about that. And like I said, looking forward to getting some good car counts, hopefully, for the Midwest Mayhem Midget Series. Dan, we're going to take another commercial break. We'll be right back.
Save the date and make plans now. March 20th at the Will County Fairgrounds in Peatone, Illinois. It's the 6th annual Chicagoland Racing Memorabilia and Collectibles Show, plus Racers Reunion. This show covers everything, including NASCAR, IndyCar, USAC, ASA, ArtGo, and more. Our vendors have die-cast cars, models, programs, pictures, posters, old videos, and anything else you can think of. Come mingle and meet former drivers from the Chicagoland racing scene. Shows run from 10 a.m. till 3 p.m. Admission's only $7, and kids under 11 are free. Food and full bar available. For more information, check out our website at ChicagolandRacersReunion.com. Whether you missed last week's races or just want to watch your favorite drivers go at it again, Damn It Race Videos has your door-to-door, bumper-slamming short track action. Featuring weekly racing from Grundy County Speedway and South Bend Motor Speedway, Damn It Race Videos covers the latest rivalries, wrecks, and victory lane celebrations. Like our Facebook page and subscribe today on YouTube. Remember, racing is always better in person, but when you can't be at the track, Damn It Race Videos has you covered. Orland Precision Machine in Frankfort, Illinois is a family-owned, full-range CNC machine shop with engineering, machining, and welding capabilities. We are 100% committed to supplying high-quality, competitively priced products to our customers. Whether you're in need of one part or 1,000, customer service and satisfaction are our #1 priorities. We also pride ourselves on our on-time delivery service and offer local delivery. Industries currently serving include crane and heavy equipment, food processing, steel mill, railroad elevator, and water valve systems. For more information, check out our website at orlandprecisionmachine.com.
You're listening to Short Track News Radio. If you're enjoying the show, please consider advertising your business with us. Or fans can make a donation right through the website to help keep things running. For more information, check out shorttracknews.com. And now, back to the show.
Well, welcome back, everybody, here on Short Track News Radio, talking all things Grundy County Speedway with Dan Schmeissing. And Dan, new commercials, all kinds of stuff, man. We've really upgraded from a couple of years ago.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, technology evolves, but that's what's cool. Today is going to be out tomorrow anyway. So, but yeah, like I said, good job on rebranding the show and getting it all, up to date on things. And yeah, great for the sponsors that come on board. And like I said, looking forward to seeing what else you got up your sleeves for the rest of the year.
Yeah, like I said, great sponsors that came on board. Again, if you could check them out, shorttracknews.com, check out our website, check out the sponsors if you're interested in making a donation to keeping the show going. And you can also find our links to all our social media, our Spotify page, so you can listen on the go, or if you want to just listen on YouTube. So all that on shorttracknews.com. Anything else on the schedule, Dan, that kind of popped out to you? I mean, I know we have a lot of returning favorites. The pure stocks will run a special race, and the street stocks will, do something, the Candyman special, stuff like that. And, we always try to give each division a night where we kind of do out-of-car introductions. I know the drivers like to do that, on a weekly basis. Usually, they'd like to do it on a weekly basis if we did it. But, like I said, if we could give it to them once a year, I know everybody appreciates that. But basically all of our fan favorite stuff is coming back. We have 2 fan appreciation nights on the schedule. So those are our on-track autograph nights and stuff like that. And how popular are those, Dan? I know you're always participating in those and got a bowl of candy and driver cards and all kinds of giveaways. What's that experience like when you're on the track and fans get to go on the track for maybe the first time ever, and you got kids down there on the track sitting in cars, taking pictures, meeting drivers, and that has to be pretty cool from a driver's aspect.
Yeah, it is. I mean, some of those drivers, they look up to you, and I mean, here I am, 40 something years old, and I got these kids coming up to me, wanting their, they want me to sign their shirts or whatever, and it's like I'm just a just a 4-cylinder driver, these guys over here, but it makes you feel nice and warm and fuzzy inside and stuff like that. And I think, the younger kids, they get a bigger group, and I'm perfectly fine with that. That's what draws attention. Your typical female drivers are a fan favorite. The young kids that are up and coming in the sport are the favorites. And, it's just great. The late model drivers, they do a great job. You can get some pretty nice handouts from them, from koozies to T-shirts to hats. I mean, some of them go all out. Me, unfortunately, is a bowl of candy and some driver cards that I print out at Walgreens. But hey, that's what I got to do. So, but yeah, I mean, it's great for Grundy. Usually we're a 8:00 start because we're a Friday night track. So definitely during the school season, it's hard for these parents, if they have younger kids, to drag them back to the pits afterward. If our program runs pretty smoothly with 5 divisions, we're usually done by 11:15. It's a little over 2-hour show if things go well. But unfortunately, there are those nights where maybe we get a little pop-up shower. We got to dry the track. We got to cut qualifying and go to a points start, and we're starting a little late. Or unfortunately, sometimes we are race car drivers and we cause red flag incidents. So track cleanup and so on and so forth. So it's nice because on those nights they can come down early. They can actually meet the drivers, and that's just a product of a Friday night track. They have to start late just because most people work on Friday. So, but historically, Grundy is a Friday night track. We all know it, and there's no shocker there.
Yeah, it's just like I said, it's just cool to get all the cars on the track. It's a cool picture. It's cool to as a driver, an official or whatever, to go on the track. It ain't a big deal to you, but for some of these kids, that watch the races, 2-3 years in a row, and all of a sudden it's like, wait, we get to go on the racetrack where the drivers race. It's such a big deal to them. And sometimes even when you go in the pits, the pits are pretty big, and sometimes you got 100 cars in the pits, and it's sometimes they don't make it all the way to the other end of the pits where the Super Cups are and pure stocks and street stocks. So like I said, you can hit up everybody in one shot, and like I said, get like you mentioned, some of those late model guys, man, Stan Zolads and the Shuff Real Estate crew, they got some bag to get all the stuff that they hand out. But yeah, just lots of cool stuff. Glad to see we're going to do 2 of those. One mid-season kind of like, and then one at the end of the year for our fan appreciation night. Cool that we're doing that. Another thing we got to mention that, got added to the schedule last year, and they've really upped their, promotion this year, is Jim Olson in the Midwest Mass Stock Car Series for our sportsman cars out at Grundy. He came on board last year and, put on some big money. Nice deal for the sportsman cars. Put together a series this year where he's kind of trying to mix in sportsman rules to where a Rockford guy could maybe show up, or a South Bend car could show up. Putting together a 4-race deal with really good money. Every race is $1,000 to win. They got a very nice point fund for only 4 races. I think a $5,000 point fund, and it's only a 4-race deal. So really looking forward to seeing that. We got the Carnival. The Grundy County Fair, 117th annual. And last year, if you were there, there isn't a person I talked to that didn't say this was, the best fair in, 10 years, the best year in 20 years, the best fair ever. It was just, every night, even, the Thursday night earlier, the Wednesday night, stuff like that. And then we got, the fan favorite stuff that we do. Cheryl Wren, with Cheryl Wren Racing, putting together all the kids stuff that she does for Kids Night and giving away the bikes. I want to say last year they were close to 100 donations of brand new bikes that they gave away. And then they do back to school night with backpacks filled with school supplies. And they get in the hundreds. I want to say they had almost 400 school supplies, filled in backpacks last year. A lot of stuff, man. We're running out of time. There's so much stuff. The Jake Bradley Memorial, sportsman race for our cars out there. That's been a long standing event that the Bradley family putting on. The Candyman 33 special that the Mahoney Group puts together for our street stock drivers. The Frank Welch Memorial. Frank Welch kind of ran the racing side of things out there for close to 40 years, I want to say. And, Frank Welch Memorial, August 5th. Our Illinois State Championship night, which is something new that we added last year. I grew up at Raceway Park, and when they would run the double features or the triple features, I always thought that was just the coolest thing. And we did that last year where we didn't run no heat races, and all 5 of our main divisions just ran double features. So I thought that was, a cool deal. We start the season April 16th and April 23rd with 2 practice sessions. We open on a Saturday. We've been doing that the last couple of years because opening day is just kind of a long process. You have a lot of cars that have to go through tech and through safety tech and stuff like that. And it's so hard to do that on a regular Friday night and still start on time at 8 o'clock. So we've been starting the season on a Saturday to kind of give us more time. We can open earlier with less people working on a Saturday. So we got that. Just looking through here, late night on May 6th, our first Enduro, May 7th, Midwest Mayhem Midgets, I believe their first appearance is May 13th. The biggest Super Cup race of the year, the Corporal Christian Smith Memorial Race, May 20th. Armed Forces Night, May 27th. Mixed Drum, 50 years at Grundy Night. We honored George Williams, who was our longtime Fair Board president last year. This year we're going to honor Mixed Drum. That's the guy that works the gate when you pull out onto the racetrack. Former champion. He's been involved at the Grundy County Speedway for 50 years. So kudos to you, Mick. So you're going to, get honored that night. Like we said, Illinois Championship, June 17th, and just so much more. Midwest Tour, July 9th. The Chicagoland Showdown 100, presented by McMahon Transport, July 22nd. Blackhawks Night, September 2nd. Night of Features, Sunday, September 4th. The day before that will be the Mazan Speed Bowl and Grundy County Speedway Hall of Fame induction, and hope to have some news about the Hall of Fame in some future upcoming episodes. Bettenhausen Memorial 100 at the end of the year, Saturday, September 17th, and then our final racing event, the Fall Brawl 200 Enduro, with hopefully some special announcements coming soon on that. So I know we missed some stuff, Dan, getting ready to run out of time here, but yeah, it's just cool to see so much on the schedule. It's cool for me to personally, put the schedule together and to kind of have the support of Joe and Carrie and Julie and Sarah in the office, and to kind of maybe take some chances with some stuff and put in some new stuff. And like I said, there's going to be some weekends there where we're running, 2 days, sometimes 3 days. There's a period in there where I think we race like 5 times in like a 9-day window, which is kind of crazy, where we got racing on a Friday and then the Enduro on the 4th of July. And then we race again on like the 8th and then the 9th. Midwest Tours there. So lots of racing. The fair will be going on in July. You can find our complete schedule on our website at Grundy County Speedway Online.com. And Joe, Dan, this is like I said, full schedule, bud.
Yeah, there's not. I skimmed through it real quick. There's not a single night that there's just a regular night of racing, which we've seen that in the past. And again, looks like you guys added some more Spectator Drags this year too. Looking at their, looks like you got a sponsor, Satisfied Heating and Cooling. It's going to be sponsoring some Spectator Drags, so that's always cool. Fans out there, whoever wanted to make some laps around Grundy County Speedway, bring your car on out. All you need is a helmet, sign a waiver, make sure you're insured, and go have a ball out there.
Yeah, forgot about the Spectator Drags too. Yeah, that's something that one's a weird one. That one we post it, and you see 20 people reply, and they're excited, and they're challenging their buddies, and hey, bring out the car and bring out this, and let's do this. And then when we do it, we're sometimes lucky to get 8 of them. So I don't know what happens in between the transition from when we post it to when actually Friday night comes along. But yeah, in the past, Jody Lee, firstplaceoils.com has been a big supporter of that. And then you mentioned we got a new sponsor this year, so looking forward to that. So yeah, just hoping to, like I said, we kind of got a little bit for everybody out there. If you just like a traditional, sportsman and street stock and late models and stuff like that, we have that. And then we got, half the time we got Super Cups. And then when the Super Cups aren't running, we stuff like that. So it's, it's just cool. It's cool to have so much, different things on the schedule. It's cool that we're getting ready to start, man. I got my racing show coming up here on the 20th. And, like I said, between that and then April's going to roll around. And, like I said, on the 16th, we're going to have practice, and it's crazy to think about that. Got about 30 seconds left, Dan. Any?
No, just looking forward to, I know there's some drivers that are moving up, some moving from the 4-cylinder division in the Mid-American, and some new late model drivers. So it's going to be exciting to see some new blood out there in the divisions and moving up, and looking forward to the 2022 season at the Grundy County Speedway.
Well, fans, we're just about out of time. I'd like to thank my co-host, Dan Schmeissing. Hope he'll be able to do more shows with us this season, and always appreciate when he can be on. Thanks for tuning in, and we will see everybody next week.
Thank you for listening to Short Track News Radio. We'd like to thank our sponsors, our guests, and most importantly, all you racing fans out there that tune in every week. Keep supporting those local racetracks, and we'll see you again next time